began before we learned to tell the difference between you and me. Before we knew what it was for one of us to starve and the other to feast, for one to dance and the other to weep. It began long before we learned to lie, before fear buried truth and anger reverberated so loudly we grew deaf to the coming storm. Teetering on the edge, searching the horizon for belonging, I stand on the beach of my burden. A child pulled to pieces, building sandcastles, an offering to all parts unseen, a home for the spirits of the past, a home for the truth, sometimes too heavy to hold. I was born into a family whose most distinguished heirloom is the generational trauma passed down to each new member, gilded in gold and set upon your chest at first breath. The cowlick on the back of my head, where I was spun together from cosmic thread. See, I was born into this world, a being of light, burning bright and wild, white hot heat against the walls of the mausoleum of my kin, a kiln, a threat to the fraying threads binding our eyes and stilling our illusions. I find my remains in the smoldering ashes on the ground, diffuse and soft, a sunset in sway. The world succumbs to a periwinkle wash as entire kingdoms fade out of sight, out of time, out of mind. Still and slow and even slower still. I never went to college, but I do have a dissociate's degree. The sky is falling, and I look to the moon to save me. I ate fear, consumed hope, ingested joy, chewed on truth. I swallowed pride, devoured sorrow, slurped love, regurgitated pain. I took the sacrament, but each bite left me wanting more. I could make myself sick, but I could never make myself full. The fevered montage of my traumatic youth haunts me. It lies in wait right behind my ears, ready to strike. A slow, constant trickle. A stream gone muddy with shame, built up at the edges of me like silt, so that everything I touch and feel and think and say is shored up with the sludge of it. Some days
I only pretend to exist as I'm ripped from my body to other times and places, packed bloody with remembering. Some days my body feels like concrete. Every breath thickened with the weight of his sorrow and the density of her rage, mine to have and to hold, till death do us part. My ribs a cage for wet clay. A soft sigh as I slide down the slick sides of myself and slither out onto the floor. And then my poor meatball rolled out the door. Like some unmoored pilgrim, I have become unstuck in time.
I purged. I spit. I spewed. I rejected. I scraped. I scrounged. I spent. I sliced. I set it ablaze and spat on the flames. I shamed and blamed and found fault. I dug a hole and stuck my head in. My eyes closed and the world dark. And still, the moon is newer than I ever was.
Some days, my anger burns so bright, everything I touch turns to ash. Ancient rage carving new gashes in soft flesh. Some days, the palms of my feet and the bottoms of my hands yearn with a want for something to destroy. My misery wants her company. I have watched with curiosity at the ease with which others move through the world as if the air around them wasn't made of jello. And here I thought we were all just a bunch of skeletons standing around wondering if my butt looks good. I have tried in vain to fit myself into endless shapes, harder, softer, smaller, invisible. I have searched for belonging in my life like loose change in my pockets, rolling finger and thumb over ancient receipts, hair clips, TikTok videos. I can hear it, but I can't quite grasp it, and so I turn against myself. An easy target. A lamb I keep on the butcher's block to hack and rip and tear to pieces. A feast that is promised but never comes to fruition. I catch my reflection in the blade's edge and hold the gaze.
Shivered in the relief of her shadow. I did not turn away. I promised I wasn't afraid of the dark. I promised I would stay. In the absence of light, I could see so clearly the magic of it. the magnificent coming together of parts, elementary alchemy in spiritual realms. With golden threads I weave myself together into a goddess, into a giantess, into belonging, into being. I gaze at my reflection in the stars, shining down upon me, silver and gold pools of light, brighter still, even when the moon is dark.
Some days, I can't remember why I'm here. You see, I don't remember a time in my life when at least one part of me didn't want to die, to dissolve. Always the what if gnawing at the back of my neck, but never fully biting down, milk teeth on a rubber nipple, an unfertilized egg, potential calcified in time. See, I never seem to build up the courage. My suicidal ideation also has imposter syndrome. At night, I can hear the chorus of 1,000 swords unsheathing and searching for a home in my flesh. What stories do they seek to inscribe in my psyche? What ancient histories still penetrate my present day, snuggling up next to me at night? Am I the big spoon or the little spoon? Two halves of a brain diverged in the woods, twirling and whirling and hurling about, visiting new old places, time traveling in slow motion to soft landscapes and sticky situations, to the first glowing embers of my burgeoning flame, to witness my struggle, to honor my flame. Mine is a slow, brilliant, brutal burn. I am frozen, I am changing, and I am still crawling out of my skin, yet I am whole. I am both terribly good and awfully bad. I am tired and I am trying. The moon shines down a waxing gibbous, and so must I dare not say that I have finished. I know that these parts of me need a home. See, I have been chiseling away at the grime that's built up inside of me, exposing soaring cathedral walls, stained glass ceilings, depicting both the obscene and the glorious, the story of my life shining in upon me, casting rainbows in the dark. I have danced myself into oblivion and back together again. A wildflower growing between the worlds of chaos and order, I am rooted. I am not going to dissolve. I find my home in the space that exists after I exhale and before I breathe in again. I find my belonging in turmeric-stained golden hour twilight, not quite day, not quite night. All the pain, the rage, the sorrow wash over me in great, glistening waves, and I welcome them as teachers, as friends, all parts of me, past, present, and future. Our journey has only just begun.
Alchemist, witch, oracle. I am not divided, I am a portal. Perennial, royal. I went to the bottom and I poured out my love. I opened my mouth and let my anger fall, slow dying embers on the parched earth. I sat with the cacti and pulled the prickers from my mind. I burned my fears in the fire, watered the sage with my sorrow,